Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk doing another ranking the albums. This week we are going to rank the 7 studio albums of Minneapolis legends, the Replacements, the good old Mats. They got started right in the 70s, early 80s, originally kind of hardcore punk, kind of developed more into an alternative rock style. Um, Kind of lost the hardcore part of it. Um, so, um, First album released in 1981, their final studio album, not counting a late EP, 1990. Um, at that point, the band broke up. Paul Westerberg, the leader, kind of the leader of the band, the main songwriter, vocalist, one of the guitar players, has gone on to a solo career that I'll probably tackle at some point as well. Then the other members of the band, we had Smoking and Drinking Bob Stinson on guitar. He did leave the band around 85 or 86 for a band that was noted for their substance abuse. He got kicked out for too much drinking and drugs, and he unfortunately passed away at an early age. He was only in his 30s when he passed away. I think it was around 1995 or so. I didn't look up the exact date. Then his younger half brother, Tommy Stinson, played bass. I think Tommy Stinson was literally about um, 14 years old or something when they recorded their first album. Uh, he was maybe maybe slightly older than that, but he was definitely underage when the band started. So, and then the drummer is Chris Mars. And so we're going to rank them from 7 to 1. So at number 7, we have their 1989 album, Don't Tell a Soul. So this was produced by Matt Wallace and the Replacements. This was an album that was basically recorded by the four-piece, including a Westerberg, Tommy Stinson, Chris Mars, and Slim Dunlap, who had replaced Bob Stinson on guitar. This is probably their this you would probably describe as probably their most commercial sounding album. Um, and I'll be honest, this is the album of theirs that I always found kind of boring, so I don't really listen to it that much. So, um, number 6 would be their final album. So, Don't Tell a Soul was their second to the final. The final studio full length album, 1990. The Replacements All Shook Down, produced by Scott Litt and Paul Westerberg. Scott Litt, probably most well known for working on several REM albums. A lot of times people describe this as more Paul Westerberg's first solo record rather than the final album by the Mats. There was a lot of work with studio musicians on this. I think Chris Mars only drummed on a few songs. Slim was brought in to do some guitars. Um, but it was mainly a Paul Westerberg show. I know there's a song with Johnette Napolitano from Concrete Blonde singing on one, but I do rank this ahead of Don't Tell a Soul because there are some songs like Merry Go Round, My Little Problem with Johnette Napolitano. I found some of the songs more enjoyable than on Don't Tell a Soul. But I'll be honest, when I have a hankering to listen to the Replacements, these are not really the albums I'm tending to grab to. Uh, Number 5, and this will be the first one I have on vinyl. This is their second album, Hootenanny from 1983. So you can see a very cool front cover. I think the back cover is, I love the design of the back cover, so you can see the guys there. Super young Tommy and Bob and Westerberg and Chris Mars. So this was produced the Replacements along with I didn't write down the guys. Peter Jesperson, who was their manager for a while, and I think the guy's name was Matt Stark. I have it in my notes written as Stark. I forgot to write down his first name, and I thought I would remember it. Um, and really, I think the this I'm ranking this number 5, but I think the from here on in are all very, very strong albums. Um, and so this is sort of the transition from sort of the hardcore, very punky that you'll see on their first album to more of their sort of uh, alt rock 80s alternative sound that they had on other albums. Um, then the next one I have, my number 4 is the debut album, The Replacements. Sorry, Ma forgot to take out the trash. So there they are, super young, broke, dirtbags. Look at these guys. So, and then so if you want the punky raw replacements, you want Sorry Ma forgot to take out the trash. There was an EP that was released in '82 before Hootenanny as well called Stink, which I actually don't have. It was only an EP, so that's why I'm not ranking it here. But I love Taking a Ride. I love I Bought a Headache. Johnny's Gonna Die is probably a slower song about Johnny Thunders. Shiftless When Idle. So, yeah, I like this a lot. And then we'll really get into their strongest 3 albums now. So my number 3, I know I'm going to make some some Mats fans mad. Let It Be, I think, is generally considered to be their best album. I'm ranking it as my number 3. So this was their 3rd album from 1984. So Steve Fjellstad, Peter Jesperson, and Paul Westerberg produced this guy. Again, these first 3 albums were on Twin Tone Records. The reason why I'm not ranking it higher, I mean, I love I Will Dare, Unsatisfied, Favorite Thing, but I think Androgynous is a great song. But I think there are a couple of duds on this album. I mean, Gary's Got a Boner is just a stupid song, and I could definitely do without their cover of Kiss's Black Diamond. So those brought it down on my ranking. My number 2 is going to be their major label debut, 1985's album Tim. This would be the final album that featured Bob Stinson. This was produced by Tommy Erdely, aka Tommy Ramone. And so Hold My Life, Kiss Me on the Bus, Bastards of Young with that famous video where they just didn't care enough to actually make a video. It's just like a speaker and a record playing, and then the guy kicks in the speaker at the end. It was kind of, Here Comes a Regular, the final song. I think that really hints at sort of the Paul Westerberg singer-songwriter style that would come later on. Left of the Dial, so Swingin' Party. So I rank this ahead of Let It Be because I don't really find any of the songs on this to be duds. And then again, to anger some Replacements fans, my number 1 is going to be the 1987 album Pleased to Meet Me. I know some people think it's a little bit too commercial. It has too much of, some people didn't like the saxophones and the horns, sort of the Memphis sound that was brought in. So this was produced by Jim Dickinson, who is known mainly for producing Big Star, and was known that Westerberg was a big star Alex Chilton fan. Alex Chilton had a small guest spot on Tim and also on this record. Jim Dickinson plays on several songs. Jim Dickinson's teenage son Luther played guitar in one of the songs. He's probably more well known for eventually his work in North Mississippi All Stars. Alex Chilton had a small role on this. Again, there's some horns, so that's brought in on some of the songs. But I mean, I just love the Alex Chilton song. Um, Nightclub Jitters, I Can't Hardly Wait, Red Red Wine, Shooting Dirty Pool, Skyway. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. This is my favorite Replacements album. I like both this and Tim better than Let It Be. Sorry, that's the way it is. So again, a quick recap: 7-1. Number 7, Don't Tell a Soul from 1989. Number 6, All Shook Down, 1990, the final album. Number 5, Hootenanny, their second album from 1983. Number 4, The Debut from 1981. Sorry, Ma, forgot to take out the trash. Number 3, Let It Be from 1984. Number 2, Tim from 1985. And my favorite, Pleased to Meet Me from 1987.